In the greatest city in the world, the city that never ever sleeps, this is Gunz. This is the Gunz Show. And of course, Outkick and Outkick.com. We are very excited for what's about to happen this coming weekend. For those that follow myself, as well as my articles and content over at Outkick, you know that the last couple months have really been kind of delivering and explaining, or at least showcasing something called the Powerslot League. We've had some of the executives on. We've had some of the fighters on themselves that are doing slappers, if you would. And it's definitely taken over the internet, social media for sure. And why don't we get to the person that has really taken it to the next level, the person that's been behind it ahead of this coming Saturday, for free, by the way, on Rumble, 9 p.m., Powerslot League finale. Dana White joining us. What's up, my man?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing well. So listen, a lot has been going on. So before we delve into it, let's just ask you this. And great to see you once again, Dana. Really appreciate you coming on. Sum it up in one word, all right? One word answers. Powerslot League has been blank.
Awesome.
Okay. Powerslot rollout has been blank.
Explosive.
Reaction to Powerslot League has been blank.
Mixed.
And there, listen, all three amazing words, and definitely a great kind of description of how you were able to talk about Powerslot League, because I think you're right on what you just said. The buzz is there. I say we live in an ADHD generation. TikTok, we can't focus on anything. For those that want that excitement, that quick fix.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 8 weeks, 1 billion views just on TikTok alone. 38.5 million a week on Instagram. We did a deal with Rumble. They got the international, and the international is up to like 15 million views for the episodes. You know, when you come out with something like this whole thing was a test. You know, we built a social strategy. We built a digital strategy. We built a television strategy. And you see what works. You keep what works and get rid of what doesn't.
One of the things that I've had Frank Lamasella on and Forrest Griffin, and even one of the people that's going to be competing, Vern Cathy, was really interesting interview with him, because when you hear it from the people that are involved, you learn a lot more about it. And, you know, we can delve into the regulations and all that, but just the concept of it, it reminds me to those early MMA days where people are like, oh my God, how could they ever do this? You had to kind of be feeling, you know, the naysayers, the doubters, the shit talkers. Are you feeling that again kind of here? Is it part two, do you think?
Yeah, it's literally deja vu. It's exactly the same, except at a much bigger level now. You know, every week we had publications writing about this that would never cover Powerslap in a million years. So it's actually been good.
Do you, just based on that reaction, you know, sometimes, you know, whether it's media, whatever it might be, in the media, I'm the first to tell you we're the absolute worst. I mean, how many press conferences have you done where you're just like, what the hell are these people asking me? So you know, the journalism out there is a joke.
I love that actual media guy can admit it. That's awesome.
Well, I'm one of the good ones. All right. I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's true. But you're not wrong. And unfortunately, these days, there aren't a lot of good ones left. You know, there aren't really any people. I was just watching this thing on Bill Maher where they were literally talking about what the media has become. And it's become this thing where, because politically everybody's so divided, you know, one network's, you know, they're telling people what they want to hear. The other network is telling the other people what they want to hear. And it's all about subscribers. It's not about truth or real journalism or finding out the facts. It's about telling certain groups of people what they want to hear.
And it's sad. It's frustrating. It's disappointing. You know what I mean? And it's really, you know, the growth of social media, I think, has really fueled that divisiveness. And it doesn't always have to be that way. I understand the financial impact and, you know, the financial incentives for, you know, organizations and whatnot, and companies, corporations that have their bottom line as the, you know, their bottom dollar is their bottom line. But why can't people just be real and tell the damn truth sometimes, right? Or ask questions. Well, we can't even ask questions anymore.
Yeah, the hardest part about it is you don't know what's true and what's not true anymore. You don't know what's real and what's not real. But if you're somebody like me and you play this thing the right way, you know, these guys have helped me build an incredible business in just 8 weeks. I've literally sat back, bit my tongue, haven't said a thing, let this thing play out, you know, and you have these guys who do nothing, know nothing, have never built anything. Nobody's ever depended on them for a paycheck. And you listen to their opinions or, you know, their attacks or whatever you want to call it that these guys are doing. And it's been fascinating to watch over the last 8 weeks. And I believe that because of all the negativity and all the, in their attempt to kill this thing, they've literally, I mean, we had guys writing stories about, the ratings were terrible on TBS. It'll be canceled after episode 2. Right. Oh, it's definitely not making it to episode 2. What the fuck do you people know about ratings and what it means and what's going on? And what makes me laugh all the time is, I say this about the UFC. I'll read these stories about these guys that are trying to write stories about our business. You know, fucking less than nothing about our business, right? And then when you talk about Powerslot, you have no idea the strategy that I've built, the things that I have planned, and why we're doing this and why we're doing that. But they'll write their opinions about it and talk about how it's going to fail when they have never built a business in their fucking lives. It's amazing to me. You know what I mean? It would be like me sitting back and looking at something that who's I just talking about? The big investment.
FTC or something, or
no, the guy that just helped A-Rod out with his last deal.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Buffett.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. It would be like me looking at things that Warren Buffett is doing and going, oh, this is ridiculous. Warren Buffett's going to lose all his money in this thing. He's going to fucking, he's going to tank. What the fuck do I know about shit that Warren Buffett is investing in? You know what I mean? Right, That's how fucking stupid it is when I listen to reporters try to talk about my business. Now, it's one thing if Powerslot isn't for you and you don't like it. And that's fine. I mean, I don't like golf, but I don't go out telling people not to fucking watch it or play it. You know what I mean? I just don't watch it or pay any attention to it. That's what I do. Yeah. But these guys actually come out and try to write stories to talk about, you know, something they know nothing about. It's fascinating to me. And what's even more fascinating to me is why would anybody fucking read what they think?
It's you're exactly right, because isn't it funny how narratives change, or they'll say something one minute and then 6 months later they'll say something completely different. It's like they can't even look themselves. How do they look themselves in the mirror? It's all bullshit, man. So I appreciate you coming on, because I tried, you know, no one wants to be like, oh, I'm real, but I truly do at least try to pursue truth.
If you go back and look at, I mean, I did this. I did a short little piece, and I'm doing a much bigger documentary about the media that I'm putting together that I can't wait to put out, where I'm calling people out by name, by, you know, the publication that they work for, the whole deal.
Bring in the receipts, baby.
About, oh, I can't wait. Trust me, this is a passion project for me. But one of the things, I'll give you an example. My home newspaper, my local paper, the Las Vegas Review-Journal, one of the biggest piece of shit fucking newspapers in the country. Think about this. We make it through COVID. We do everything. Nobody gets hurt. Yada, yada, yada. I said I wouldn't do an event in any of the venues unless I could do a full event. So I was putting on the first event that was going to have a sold out packed stadium. My local newspaper writes a story. The headline is 12,000 people are willing to die to watch a UFC event live. Now, as you look back on that, first of all, for my hometown paper to write that, right? Number one.
When everybody's out of work, the economy, people don't have jobs. You're just trying, like, why? Like you're killing yourselves here. It's self-suicide right now when you're screwing your own people, the people you're supposed to be writing and looking out for, not because of the COVID stuff, but from a sheer economic standpoint. Think of all the revenue that could have brought that in alone.
What it tells you is weak, whiny, you know, terrified, uneducated. You know, I could just go on for days about what that means. And that's the thing with most of these media guys. You have the weakest, wimpiest people on earth trying to talk about some of the toughest, baddest sports on earth or whatever it might be. And therein lies the problem.
But all along, you've had to kind of prove the naysayers and doubters wrong. You know, speaking of what you just kind of said, remember the Fight Island? Oh my God, people were losing their goddamn mind, but you came out on top of that, moving down south and being like, listen, let's roll. And all of a sudden it was like, I truly believe that it showed the complete double standard where UFC can do something and have tens of thousands of people, but then I'm going to a Yankee Stadium and I have to be like, what the hell? Like, got to be separated. It's like, and we're outdoors. Like, what are we doing here? The double standard is crazy when you really think about it. But I continue that on with here is you're talking about the criticism that perhaps some are giving to Powerslap and more. Is it another thing of you just wanting to prove these people wrong because you have such a historic record of just being like, another W, just lock another one in, check it off, baby?
Yeah, once you come at me like that, it's like this whole cancel culture thing and all the things that are going on in this world today. You and you alone decide your fate. You don't let these outside forces come in and all the noise and all the bullshit knock you off track for what you want to do. And once that starts, that literally every day when I set foot on the fucking floor out of my bed, I'm ready to go to war every day. That's the way I look at it, you know, because not just professionally in my professional life, personally and every other way, we have people coming at us every day.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you know, a business guy and do the things that I do, it's the same shit for everyday people. When you get out of fucking work, you know, you get up in the morning, you go downstairs, you got a fucking flat tire, or your car doesn't work, or you're fucking this or that. Every single day, you have to have the mindset when you get out of bed, it's time for war. We're going to war. Yeah. I literally have, when I started Powerslap, I had this thing installed in my office. It's a quote. And it says, "May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't." And I have it in there in my office, and I look at it every fucking day. And that is the way that I am wired, and that is the way that I think all day, every single day. And my team here, all my team that works for me, these are all my soldiers. Every day we go into fucking battle, and at the end of the day, you know, we took this fucking hill, or we did this, or we did that, and then we come back tomorrow to fight another day.
You just got me so jacked up. I am ready to go. Forget Buffer, man. I'm ready. I need Dana White more in my life. Let's go. Do you think some of the, coming off of what you just said, it immediately reminds me, success is the best revenge and living well is the best revenge. And the fact that you kind of did, you know, I spoke to Frank and Farsi to impress, you know, other people that were involved in doing it. The fighters are building up more of their personalities. I talked to Vern. He said he was getting noticed at the local supermarket and stuff, and neighbors are coming up to him, Vern Cathy. And like, so people are picking up on it. Obviously, ratings, social, it's absolutely crushing.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. It's a lot about your team too.
Yeah.
You know, when I went through COVID, right, didn't lay off anybody, but my team rolled with me. There was nobody going, "Oh no, we're scared, we're fucking this, that." Fucking, I've built a team over the last 22 years of, I'm not kidding you, man, soldiers. These people are, and not only are they all badasses, but they're the best and the brightest in the business. The two that are in here right with me right now is Lene, who's the head of PR for the UFC, and Eric, who's the head of social media for the UFC. They have gone through fucking hell over the last 8 weeks with Powerslap. I'm literally calling them, texting them, waking them up at fucking 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the fucking morning. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do this. They never don't answer the fucking phone. They never don't pick up. They never don't respond. I don't know what they got their phone set on, but you know, it's been, but my point in telling you this is, no one guy does anything by himself. You have to build this team around you, and everybody has to be like-minded. We are going to fucking war today. Is everybody ready to go out and go to war? And my whole crew is, man. The people that I have surrounded myself with are the best in the business, and they come in here every fucking day, and we go to war.
I am excited. Absolutely. Like I said, anything could have been able to help throughout. Like I said, I've done features on it. I've done, you know, articles. I've done columns on it, done content pieces on it. We've had it explaining to people. A lot of people just look at something and they don't fully understand it, or they're just like, it's the sheer optics. And that kind of,
where do you live?
New York City. And then I also have a place down in Nashville, which, by the way, a Nashville bar, I was there last week. you got to come back to Nashville. I was there down in Saturday for Jones' fight. These bars are more packed in for UFC events than New York City is. Also, Power Slap, there's a place called Corner Pub. It's not a pub whatsoever. It's about like 450 because I do events, obviously. It was packed for Power Slap, for Slap. I'm telling you, you got to get down in Nashville, man, for UFC or something. It's been a minute, man. The crowd loves
First
you.
First of all, Nashville is one of the hottest, places in the country right now.
Yep.
Number two, Power Slap is killing it on social media and killing it in bars. It's going to be a big bar business for us.
Yep.
DirecTV set up a channel so that all the bars could take it for free on Saturday night.
Love that.
So all the bars are able to play it. Buffalo Wild Wings, Hooters, PTs in Vegas.
We'll continue on real quick. I know you got to run it. Just a couple more questions with Dana White. Of course, we're talking about Saturday night, 9 p.m. free, literally everywhere. Just Rumble. Come on, man. Everyone's got Roku, everything. You can get Rumble right there. It's free everywhere. Come on now. Let's go.
For people that don't know, Rumble is basically like YouTube. You download it just like you download YouTube, and it's free. So
go on your Roku, click it, search it, boom, download, party. Let's go. Have a lot of beers for it. It's a blast. Final question regarding the feedback. Do you think some of it is coming from people that don't like you because you are who you are? Or do you think some people are the CTE, the optics of it? Is it a little of both? Like, how do you think some people just hate anything you do? You could be handing out $100 bills to everybody on the street and they will be like, oh, but they were wrinkled. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I could be pulling babies out of a burning building and fucking, they find a way to, there's no doubt about it. Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Logan Paul and Arnold Schwarzenegger put on a huge slap match at the Arnold convention. Mm-hmm. Not one story written. Nobody said fucking boo, whatever. And here comes me with Power Slap. So I think it's a combination of people, all these people who wouldn't like it, like the snooty, wimpy, fucking creepy New York Times.
New York Slimes. Yes.
Yeah. They would have completely ignored this. And a lot of the other media would have just, completely ignored it and dismissed it. But because I'm involved, it's the combination of something they don't like. They would have never paid attention to it, but boy, they want to try to put a bullet in me.
I know you got to run, but one of the first, I spoke with Frank. All right. I spoke with Lemicella before it even debuted, all right? Or maybe it was 1 week after. And I told Forrest's eyes lit up. I said, you got to bring this to the sports books. I go, you need to get betting on this. There's nothing, especially before everybody jumps on and the odds movements are crazy. Like, Jesus, look at the Jones movement, which was wild this week alone, this is that one-on-one, people are going to lose their minds because each one's a potential knockout. So I know that you are working with the books. Are you looking to further expand the betting, man? That is the route. That social media, just like you said, you're doing the bar aspect. That's your full frontal. That's your multi-platform dominance. Yep.
You can bet this thing on DraftKings. It's legal in 10 states to bet on right now. You got Nevada, Wyoming, Connecticut, Ontario, Canada, Oregon, New York, Illinois, Colorado, and Iowa and Louisiana are in the process right now. Gotcha. So, obviously, I told you this is fun on social media. It's really, really fun in bars. So you can bet parlays, you can do a bunch of stuff, and then hang out with your friends at the bar and watch it. It's the perfect. I mean, it is literally the perfect guy's night out.
And right there alone. And I was like, you know what? You might have something there. I'm like, you need, 2 months ago, we're talking about, I was like, you need to get on the books. I'm glad that you were able to, because that's what it's all about.
And in Nevada, Circa, the D, Golden Gate, Station Casinos, see all the Caesars Palace properties, MGM Mirage properties. The list goes on and on. In Vegas, you can bet this thing everywhere.
I got to ask you this as a follow-up. Yesterday, WWE, CNBC, but they do come out with a report. I can't get a statement from WWE on it that they're looking to potentially enter Colorado and Michigan and be legalized betting. We're talking about the WWE here. What are your thoughts on that? Because on the surface, I'm like, how does that even work? It's scripted. I mean, like, the results are known ahead of time. What do you think about that? How does that work?
That is fascinating to me. Fascinating. I again, for me to even speak on it, I'm uneducated about it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what their talks are about or how they would do that, but it's very fascinating. And I'll bet you know, if they figure out a way to make that fair, I guarantee you'll have a lot of people betting on that.
Do you think that, I mean, yeah, definitely a lot of people, but do you think it can work? I mean, the sheer concept is, right? At least right now, you're just like, what is happening here? No matter what, the two wrestlers, Triple H, maybe McMahon now, I'm not really sure what his involvement is. Multiple people know ahead of time what's going to happen.
Well, Vince is back.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing that I will never do. I will never doubt Vince McMahon. Yep. The guy's, what is he, fucking 80 years old? I mean, still killing it. Still killing it. And talk about a guy who's faced tons of adversity in his business and all these other, never count Vince McMahon out. So if anybody's going to get that done, it'll be him.
Final question to follow that up, by the way, you know, they are selling themselves. You know, there are reports that he's looking to at least sell maybe the, you know, the TV rights or part, or at least the rights, or the, you know, the library, you would, whatever it might be. You know, you have some cash on you. You're worth quite a bit, quite some money. 80 thoughts of you getting involved with potential, you know, we got Bezos going after Washington. A-Rod's involved in one of the teams. What about you, man? Any thoughts about WWE ownership?
I got enough shit to do. I'm good.
What about
UFC and Power Slap are fucking got me busy.
Well,
if I even talk about something like that, my staff would probably fucking murder me. Come up to my office and kill me right in my office. So
they're gonna hate this follow-up. You were a big proponent of Brady perhaps going to the Raiders. Any chance of you professional sports league down the line? Maybe not right now, but do you see yourself down the line with a professional sports league?
No, I love what I do. Obviously, I still have big plans for UFC over the next 5-6 years, and I got big plans for Slap over the next 5-6 years. So I got plus I do own other businesses with my partners, the Fertitta brothers, that, you know, totally working on all that stuff too. So my agenda's full. I'm good.
No Robert Kraft here, at least in the world of football. Everywhere else, you're doing what you do. Absolutely. Yeah. Final thing real quick. A couple years ago, what does it say that two of my favorite events, Aaron Boone hitting the home run for the Yankees? I was there. I was like 9 years old. Greatest moment in my life. Sports. Game 7 beats the Red Sox. Aaron Blanken Boone hits it over. My other two favorite sports moments I've ever been to is Connor defeating Eddie Alvarez when we finally got it sanctioned in New York City. There was that atmosphere. It's still one of my greatest life moments ever. And the other one was Rose, TJ, Bisping, the 3 title changes also in New York City, which was just, I mean, you can't. So what does that say? You know, I'm you know, years ago, but still, like, I was never a diehard. But it brought me in. Those are two of my favorite moments, Dana. UFC, like, that's wild.
Well, guess what? 23,000 people experienced that last Saturday too at the John Jones fight when Grasso beats Valentina the way that she did, and when John Jones goes in and makes it look easy. And let's not count out the fucking Rachmanov Jeff Neal fight too, which was an absolute war that led into those two fights. And it happened there. No, you're absolutely right. One of the things that I always say is if you come to a live UFC pay-per-view event, nobody leaves an event and goes, yeah, I'm never coming to one of these again. The live event is actually what sucks people in. Like if those moments you were with 3 of your friends that had never seen the UFC before, they'd be done. They'd be hooked. They're in. Our live event is the best live event in all of sports.
I still get chills just speaking about it again. I mean, people were jumping on top of cars outside. I was at Stout Bar, which is across the street from Madison Square Garden. Somebody bought 200 shots of Jameson at $9 a pop because Connor won. Literally 1,800. They had to run the credit card before they were willing to pour to make sure it didn't get declined. You know what I mean? Awesome. I was at the Connor Khabib press conference and, like, you know, all that, like, man, what a great thing that you've been able to build.
We broke a lot of records last weekend with that fight. Social media, but what people were telling me, and I was seeing videos, and I posted a few of them, they were saying that the bar experience was fucking off the charts. Yeah. I guess Barstool just built a bar in Arizona, and one of my buddies, and he's the former chief operating officer of Microsoft. So this is a very well-to-do guy, whatever. He said he was in the Barstool Sports Bar down in Arizona. He said it was one of the coolest experiences he's ever had. He's a huge UFC fan. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'll never get to experience one of those, but I wish I could.
You're living vicariously through us. And like I said, I was in Nashville last Saturday for the Jones fight, hundreds upon hundreds of people. It was more packed than like some of the New York City bars. You got to get an event down there again. And like I said, I've also been there on Wednesdays. Man.
I love it.
Come on down. Dude, they're like, do Bridgestone, where they do Bridgestone Arena. It would be, I'm telling you, the response down there, they play slap here in some of the bars on Wednesday nights. I'll watch Dynamite and then I'll watch that. So you got to get down here, man. Let's go. Dana, like I said, one of the coolest things is that live experience and just the build up. What you've been able to do right now is very it's beyond just respectful. It's there's something here that's happening in Powerslap, and it's been very interesting, and I've actually enjoyed learning and building with this as evolved. And I think one thing that people need to know out there, and what you can end on this, is it's not like all the answers are done right now. You are going to go back, you're going to talk to the commission, it is an evolving thing that you guys are doing with Powerslap League, almost from like week to week. So it's going to just build and get better, safer, whatever it might be. You guys are going to keep building along with it. It's not like all the answers are right here. It's been 2 months.
Yep. No, believe me, I'm very excited about it. Thanks for all your support. I appreciate it.